Hello, candle lovers. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Greg, and this is all about candles. I have a review for you today from Village Candle. This is their Winter Clementine. Really cute, like pretty photographic label there of like fir balsam and clementines and snow, and this wax was such a beautiful pure white color. I'll throw up a little video that I took of this candle before I started burning it. I've been burning this candle almost like non-stop since I hauled it. So these Village candles are 21.25 ounces of paraffin wax. They've got 2 wicks on them. They do a 170-hour burn time. I got this on Amazon Canada for like $28. If you're in the States, you can get it on the Stonewall/Village Candle website for $21.95. One thing I need to note about like this particular type of Village candles is that you are not supposed to trim the wicks on these. I know a lot of people have issues burning these candles sometimes. I think it might be because they don't realize that these wicks, specifically on this format of their candle, the wicks are not meant to be trimmed. All right? So with all of that out of the way, let's get into the fragrance. On the jar, it just says Winter Clementine, citrus and freshly cut balsam. So I checked out the website because I love to be able to do a dramatic reading of a scent story for you guys. And this one is a doozy. So here we go. As winter arrives, the change of season is an invitation to slow down, relax, and enjoy the company of friends and family. Infuse your home with uplifting notes of luscious, ripe clementine paired with the calming essence of freshly cut balsam to create a beautiful holiday backdrop that evokes the spirit of Christmas. Let this unexpected fragrance transform your space into a festive sanctuary sanctuary, ready for entertaining or just some me time. I love me a good scent story. All right, so we've got more scent notes for this candle. The top notes that we get are clementine, orange peel. The mid notes are herbs and dried flowers, and the base notes are sandalwood, balsam, and cedar. For me, the difference between like a clementine and an orange. I mean, first of all, if we were to compare clementines to oranges, I'd say that they're most closely to like a mandarin orange. For me, a clementine is sort of soft and sweet and floral, whereas an orange is like zesty and tangy and bold. Does that make sense? So clementine's just softer, sweeter, a little bit floral in fragrance when compared to an orange. And I really did enjoy this fragrance, and I am super duper picky. I'm very, very picky about my fruit fragrances, specifically citrus fruit fragrances. And so for me to like this one, in my opinion, I think really says something. Village Candle is one of the candle companies that I can get behind their fruit fragrances almost all the time. I think that my least favorite fruit fragrances probably come from Bath & Body Works, and my favorite fruit fragrances probably come from Village, although a lot of their great fruit fragrances are packaged in really weird ways. Like they have this one candle called Fairy Dust, which is a really beautiful plum candle. They have another one called Fairy Tale or Storybook Fairy Tale or something like that, which is also a really gorgeous fruity floral. But anyways, yeah, I like the way that Village Candle does fruits and citrus notes, and I just thought this one was absolutely lovely. And I agree pretty much almost entirely with the scent notes that we get from them. Whereas when I'm reviewing Yankee candles like this, I'm looking at their big long lists of scent notes and I'm saying maybe I pick up on like 2 or 3 of those things. Whereas what we get here, clementine, orange peel, herbs, dried flowers, sandalwood, balsam, and cedar. Sandalwood is perhaps the one scent note in there that I'm really not picking up on. But I do get in the base of this a little bit of a woodsiness, but to me it's much more of a cedar, and you know that could have to do with the balsam note in that as well. The balsam note in this is really like quite light. You know, I'd say first and foremost, the top notes of this is that citrusness, the sort of the clementine, a bit of a zestiness. It doesn't go into like cleaning supplies territory, which I am very, very grateful for. It's just a nice, fresh, soft, almost floral citrus note. And then there is definitely something slightly herbaceous and floral happening as well in the midsection of this candle. And then the base is absolutely like a heaping helping of balsam. And that's what sets this candle apart for me a little bit. I like having that balsam note sort of combined with a wood note on the base of this candle, and letting that soft citrusy note really shine on the top of it. It's not like the kind of a balsam note that you get from like Fresh Balsam, Bath and Body Works, that kind of stuff. It's a much lighter and kind of understated balsam note, honestly. And yeah, I really like this fragrance. And I tried it for the first time this year. Most Village candles for me now are repurchases, but I did purchase a couple Village candles for this winter that I had never tried before. Winter Clementine and Slopeside, and both of them are amazing. I'm burning Slopeside right now also, and I'm liking that one even more than this one, but this one was still good, and it performed quite well for a Village candle. I mean, I burned this sucker all the way down until there was absolutely nothing left at all. I mean, those flames, the wicks and the flames were not even touching any wax at all anymore at this point. And so I just blew it out and called it a day. Really great performance from beginning to end. These candles burn for 170 hours. And so by the time you get to the end of it, it really does kind of feel like you've made friends with the candle and it has been in your life for a while. This candle pretty much lived out its entire life on my desk in a hurricane. And under those circumstances, I'd say that the strength and throw got up to about a 6. When I walked in there to the smaller space, it was absolutely present. It was very noticeable. It was definitely a 6 in there. Now, if we were to just put this out in my more open area, not in a hurricane, I imagine that the strength and throw would not have been great. Maybe like a 4.5 or a 5. I think that it would have still been noticeable because that top citrus note, it really did actually carry and project quite a bit. So I think that in an open area, it still would have been detectable, but quite weak. Whereas it just worked perfectly for me as a desk candle in a hurricane. You can let these burn for like 6, 7, 8 hours. I mean, I probably had some burns on this when I was home like all day on a weekend or whatever. There were probably times where I burned this candle for 12 or 13 hours and I had no issues with it whatsoever. A lot of this format of the Village candle, a lot of them do go through phases where they dud out quite badly and you kind of have to just let them be and let it kind of fix itself. But this one didn't do that. Like, there were definitely some burns that were not being as strong and powerful as other burns, but this candle never went into like full-blown dud out territory. Like, it did really, really well, although I have to keep saying that I always burn these candles in a hurricane. Always. I just find like you get more strength and throw out of them that way, and it helps keep them going and getting those nice deep even wax pools on them. So, you know, I have to add the caveat to this entire review that I burn these candles in a very specific way, in a hurricane, in a smaller space. I don't know if this would necessarily do that well in a more open area, although that top sort of clementine, sort of fruity floral note to it, it really did have some travel to it. And I just loved it. I loved the sort of herbaceousness and the balsam notes mixed into this one. This fragrance just really worked for me, and the candle, it performed quite well for a Village candle. Like I said, it's not gonna blow the roof off of your house no matter what you do, but for me, this was just a great desk candle, and I would burn it for really, really long periods of time and had no problems with it whatsoever. I mean, look at that. No real, maybe there's a little bit of dark darkening on the jar here. So I'm not gonna say that it never had any soot or anything happening, but for the most part, this is extremely clean. Look at that, like very, very clean. No complaints at all, considering that they're still doing a 100% paraffin wax at Village Candle. This candle, I really don't have any complaints about. Could they turn up the volume on the fragrance? Yes, absolutely. I would have actually loved to have put this candle in my more open area, but I just knew that it wasn't gonna perform the way that I wanted it to there. So yeah, I guess it's all about like managing your expectations, right? But overall, I had a really good experience with this candle. I think that I might repurchase it next Christmas, and I will recommend it. If you've gotten to this point of the review and you've heard all of the things that I've had to say about it so far, and it still sounds like something that you'd like, yes, I'll recommend it. Absolutely, I liked it. Yeah, Village Candle. Yeah, I really still enjoy purchasing from Village once in a while. I don't go wild, but I probably buy about a dozen candles from them every year, go through maybe one of their candles every month. And like I said, it's been a while since I've had a bad story to tell. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me today, folks. I really appreciate it. If you could hit me up with a like, comment, subscription, that would really mean the world to me. You can email me your burning questions at allabootcandles@gmail.com, and follow me over on Instagram at allabootcandles too. Thanks so much, guys. Until next time, my beautiful, gorgeous, and dear candle-loving friends, let's burn some candles and bitch about it. Thanks, you guys. Bye now.